So welcome back, everyone. My next guest has been on with me at least over a year. I'm sure it's 2 years. I have with me Dr. Joseph Blake, and you are a 3-time best-selling author. Welcome back to the show. I want you to tell everybody a little bit about you and why it's so important for everyone to get some financial literacy.
Yes, ma'am. Again, Dr. Joe Blake, military veteran, 13 years as a firefighter.
Thank you for your service.
You're welcome there. Also a college professor, been teaching now for 11 years. And just love what I do, sharing about financial literacy.
You know what? I'm just going to take all this away for
Okay.
a second because I want to talk about you.
Okay.
First of all, you're so passionate about what you do, and you came from probably one of the worst areas that any person
Yes.
could grow up in. Can you want to talk a little bit about that? Because it's
Yes.
really neat.
Yes, I'm from the inner city of Baltimore, Maryland. They call it 915 North Stricker Street is where I lived. And that's in Sandtown in Baltimore. Growing up there, I thought every place was like that, but it wasn't. But my mom kept me safe in that area. Even though I seen a lot of drugs, a lot of violence and things there. I came out and now I have a PhD, 4 adult children, all master's degrees, 3 educators, and I have one that's a major.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
You know, it shows that you can do what you want to do if you want it bad enough, right?
Yes.
And you have been teaching financial literacy for quite some time now. You
Yes.
have several books, and right now we're going to open up our lines to the audience for everyone to be able to call in. The 2 books that I have here, the first one is Joseph, Building Financial Literacy, and then the next one is Joseph, Building Financial Literacy, which is you have a legacy. You have it's sort of like you have a 3-prong approach
Yes.
here, and there's another one coming out, and that's going to come out when?
Probably another year from now.
Okay.
And God gave me it's a trilogy. Literacy lasts, financial literacy lasts a lifetime, financial legacy lasts for generation.
And we've got our lines open here for everyone to call in and get your choice of which one you want. So our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. His website, and everybody should check it out. It's actionable financialliteracy.com. I'm tongue-tied today. So, and let me tell you something, folks. So without the action, you got nothing.
You're right. That's right. You get anything. Yeah. As a matter of fact, there's a scripture that says He's a God of knowledge, and by actions we are weighed. So God makes those actions that we have to take, and He's the God of the knowledge, but He weighs us by our action. That's why, as also scripture says, by faith without works is dead as well. So we have to work. That we can have faith, but you got to have some works that goes along with it as well.
You reap what you sow.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Now let's tell everybody really quickly about the QR code, because we're on Facebook, so hi everybody.
There's the QR code is a companion app that goes along with the books. And the QR code and the app, you'll have access to all the called memory models that are inside the book itself. You background information about the concept that are in a book. Also there, you have blogs. In the blog, you'll have some detailed information about that's held in the web conference that I have on Saturday mornings. And then also you have information about newsletters that's in there as well.
So he's really connecting everybody to be able to learn about financial literacy.
Yes.
And what a great time, because a lot of people in the month of December get themselves into financial, not literacy. I'm not going to say the word, so I can't say anything bad on the radio, but you know what I'm talking about, deep doo-doo. And so now here we are, and it's January, and you're looking at that, and now you can learn exactly how to do it. Your podcast that you do on Saturday mornings, let's talk about that, and then now you can go deep into what we want to talk about.
Okay, podcast is on Saturday mornings at 11. And it's called the On Point Podcast. And it's on point because it's on point for what's happening in your life today, what's happening in your life tomorrow, and what's happening in your life in the future. I'm able to expand a little more so than what's on the book as well, and I give you current, up-to-date information as far as finances is concerned. And this year, my oldest son is with me, helping me share his days, Joe Blake III.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So we've got our lines open here. I'm just going to let this out again, that everyone is getting entered in to win. You get a choice of which book you want, and our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. It's great for you. It's great for kids not just in college, but high school students. Everybody should learn financial literacy. And today, you wanted to talk a little bit about getting financial, the opportunities that come around, that even bad things are opportunities. Let's go.
Right. Right now, for 2025, there's a lot of anxiety about what's going to happen. The political environment is causing a lot of upheaval and upset for folks. So what I see is that there's hidden financial opportunities for us in 2025. And if we don't pay attention to what's out there, we'll kind of lose it. And so on my podcast,
I'm losing it.
yes, a lot of folks feel that way. But on my podcast each week but here we're going to be talking about that. So sometimes people feel that the opportunities are not there. They feel that they're missing out on it. And because of that, I've developed my model for wealth building for 2025. And that model is based on breaking up what myths are out there. It's also based on what mechanics that you need to have put in place, and also the maintenance for keeping that wealth in place. So you can actually go to my website, which is actionablefinancialliteracy.com. You go to that website and you can download what we're going to be sharing, and there's only $1 for that. You can download it, and you can have it in your hands as well. So 2025, that's what it's about.
And you know what? I forgot to say what I was going to say, so I'm going to say it now. Martin Luther King Day is here today, and that is something. He had a dream, and you know what? You have a dream.
Yes, ma'am.
And I think your dream is to help everybody build wealth.
Yes.
But having the financial literacy, that I think they're different things, right? Mm-hmm. You got to know what to do in order to build that wealth. You got to get out of debt in order to build that wealth.
Yes.
You got to learn how to do that and have things in place, processes in place, and that you do.
Yes, ma'am. And see, the other thing is people use financial literacy to kind of plug it in as like a catch-all. But financial literacy is gaining access to economic information and then making use of those concepts. Now,
you wanted to talk a little bit about anxiety, and everybody has anxiety, and there is in anxiety, there's good things in anxiety, right?
Yeah, there can be good things when you use it properly.
Right.
Because you gotta make you move to action.
Right.
In a positive way.
Exactly. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to a break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk further about this, because let me tell you, we're going to go and break this thing down into what he calls the 3 M's.
Yes.
Okay, we're going to tell everybody what that means when we get back. We've got our lines open here for everyone to get entered in to win. There's 2 books right now. One is Joseph, Building Financial Literacy, and the other one is Joseph, Building Financial Legacy. And then there's going to be a third one coming about in a year from now. But right now, get yourself on track now by calling in here and getting this book, whether it's for you or someone that you know. You get your pick of either one, whichever one you want. Our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. You can check him out on his website. It's actionablefinancialliteracy.com. We're going to just let everyone call in, because I believe that everybody really needs to learn this. And if you're not, you got your head in the sand. So call in here at 602-277-5369. Get your choice of a book. You're going to be happy you did.
Okay. Now the third book is Joseph, Building Financial Legend.
Okay.
Yeah.
I should write that down.
And what that one is about is that you say my name, you know my story. And like Like with Martin Luther King, you say his name, you know his story.
Right.
You say Nelson Mandela, you say his name, you know his story.
So,
Financially, you want your family to say your name, and they know your story for the family.
right, which is you left me money.
Yeah, you left me not just you want money for sure, but you left them something that they can remember dad about or mom about,
Right.
and how you left them
How
with
you
that.
took care of them.
Yeah,
How you love them, and love is teaching this. This is
Right.
probably the biggest love that you can give anybody.
yeah. You
And
left
if
them with
you're
some-
okay that we can say that when we get back at some point?
I can, yeah, because that's when me write my books. I told my kids, hey, read my stuff before dad goes. So if you have questions,
Yeah, you can answer them now. That's pretty funny.
I've used humor a lot because
I have to introduce you to somebody that is a financial coach, but she helps people get out of debt. And she helps people mostly now with medical, because she'd be a good somebody for you to meet,
okay.
I think.
Yeah, that's fine. Once you get out of that, you got to do something with those funds.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
but like we talked about building, and then what are you gonna do with it to help make that money make money,
Right.
right?
Mm-hmm. That's when my son actually reached out to me. He said, Dad, you still doing your podcast? He said, yes, son. You want to come on? Yes. So that made me feel good.
That's neat.
Yeah. That's my oldest. So.
That's cool. Now he's here?
No, Joseph lives in Georgia, in Perry,
Okay.
Georgia.
So how do you do that? Through like,
Zoom.
I guess he can get on from anywhere, right?
Mm-hmm. He's 37. He's got 3 kids, so he knows life is real.
How old is his kids?
He married a young lady with a lady, but he's 9, and then Joe Blake is the 4th is 2, and he just had Jaden. Jaden is 5.
Don't have any more of those. No more of those, Joseph. 1, 2, 3, 4. You got so many of them.
I know.
After a while, you get mixed up. Here we go. So welcome back, everyone. We're talking with Dr. Joseph Blake. He is a 3-time best-selling author. Yeah, you can get these books at Amazon, but you can call in here and get yourself a choice of which one you want. And our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. Get yourself on the road to financial literacy. This is what he teaches. You have your podcast on Saturday mornings at 11, and that is called On Point,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And let me just tell you something, folks. Right now, a lot of people have been, I think we've been living off our credit cards a little bit more than normal, because everything got so incredibly expensive
Yes.
all the time during the holidays. Most people do as well. So you were talking about the 3 M's.
Mm-hmm.
Tell them what those are.
The first M again is the myths, the mechanics, and then the maintenance.
Okay, break it down. What's it mean?
So the myths are mainly the misconceptions that we hold about building wealth. And so we break down those myths. One of them is that you need to be rich to build wealth. No, not necessarily. You can start small and you build up over time. So that's something that people can avoid. Investing is risky, so I don't want to do it. Well, no risk, no reward, basically. So, but once you understand what investing is about, it's just taking current money and putting it away for future use. So when you look at it that way, then it's something that you need to do. So that's understanding that. The mechanics, understanding that it's a financial behavior you have to put in place. You got to have clear objectives and goal. I have another method. It's called Camp 10. That's because the words smart goals, people hear that all the time. Well, I have Camp 10 because Camp 10 is a little different.
What is it?
Well, that's a whole other class.
Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah.
That's a whole other class. I do teach that on my podcast though. Then with the other thing with the mechanics, leveraging technology. Technology is here to stay. It's not going away.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a minute, because I'll tell you something, that's the scariest thing I think for a lot of us older folks, because a lot of things are being done differently today,
Mm-hmm.
and if you can't talk to somebody, and you can't talk to somebody who's gonna show you how to do it,
Yeah.
you can be, what did we say earlier? In deep doo-doo.
Yeah, yeah. And something that's a trend is being a cashless society. And like when I was in England for 3 weeks back in August last year. Even though I had, this is in Europe now, even though I had the British pound to spend to buy stuff, they didn't take their cash. They didn't take their money. They wanted me to use my debit card.
Why? They want that, they don't wanna use it.
They didn't want to have cash.
I thought cash was king.
I thought so too. But no, they wanted me to use the debit card.
Wow. And it's going like that today. How many people carry cash?
Right.
Not many people.
Right.
But do you think that people should use cash more?
Well, they can.
If they can.
Yeah, they can, but it's moving cashless. And that's in Europe, so you know it's going to eventually come over. So, technology. Let's understand. And then the maintenance side of understanding is stay consistent with what you're doing. If you're saving money, putting money funds away, stay consistent with it. Educate yourself.
Now, when you do your podcasts on Saturday mornings at 11, it's called On Point.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to explain, like, can somebody come in at any time and jump in and get on it, and or does it, you have it done where, like, in sessions where they learn X amount of things in a certain sessions and then they start over? How does that work?
Well, like I'm telling you, like I'm sharing that this whole year is going to be about finding job opportunities for 2025. So you can come in and get something for that particular session, but the whole year is about this. And it will be broken up to the first quarter is about myths, second quarter is about maintenance. Maintenance. Then
So it's an ongoing course,
it's
basically.
an ongoing, yeah.
Right.
Because you can't get it, how you gonna I say we're gonna eat this elephant. Yeah, how you gonna eat the elephant? One bite at a time.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna come into the course, you're gonna get a bite at a time.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want the full picture, you gotta,
And what's really cool is, first of all, with your books, they are what I love about that is they are easy to understand and read. They're good, easy philosophies, if you want to say it that way,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I always have to ask you, why did you call it Joseph?
Now, that's Joseph, because that's Joseph from Genesis, chapter 40 and before and be after. And my name just happens to be Joseph. So it's not me, it's Genesis Joseph.
Right. And Joseph had a big part in the Bible when it came to money.
Yes, he was. He was the financier.
Yeah, and so we've got our lines open here for everyone to get entered into win. You get your choice of which book you want, either Joseph Building Financial Literacy or Joseph Building Financial Legacy. And our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free is 1-866-536-1100. Dr. Blake has come from nothing and really built himself his legacy, really, that he's going to be leaving not only your children, your family, which I know you talk about a lot, but everybody, because you're trying to help everyone out there.
Yes, that's my passion.
Your website is actionablefinancialliteracy.com, and explain again why actionable is so important, that word.
Okay, actionable comes from Chris Argyros. He's actually a Harvard. He's passed away, a Harvard University professor, and he taught actionable knowledge. And actionable knowledge is knowledge that you learned in one place, but you actually were able to recreate it outside of where you learned it. So what we learn here, I want others to be able to recreate, not just apply it, but recreate the learning process when you use it someplace else. So everything I share, I want everyone to be able to recreate in their families, recreate in their businesses, recreate in their own learning environment with others. So that's why I make everything very simple.
Right, and let me just say that when you understand something, when you can teach it to somebody else and they can do it, It's one thing to just teach it, but when they do it, now you know you knew what you were talking about, right? And I think that's what you want for everybody,
Yes.
right? And the one thing that you said, knowledge is power. It's
Yes.
one of the last things you said you wanted to leave with, and tell them how important it is to know about this. And that's what I love about my show, is that it has such great information for people, and knowledge is power. Go ahead.
And then my third book, it's coming a year from now, it's going to be titled Joseph, Building Financial Legend. And legend is, when you say my name, you know my story. So like with Martin Luther King, you say his name, you know his story. We all know what Martin Luther King did for us all, everyone. You know, so Nelson Mandela, you say his name, you know his story. So for your family, when they say your name, what story do you want them to know?
What story? And for you, when soon everybody, when you say Dr. Joseph Blake, you know his story.
Right.
Because not only for your family, but for the people that you want to help out there. And there are so many people out there that are financially illiterate. They don't know what to do. And even if they do know what to do, they're afraid.
Right.
I think the fear is huge right now for people, because they don't know. Everything is the unknown right now. And when you don't know what to do and how to learn it, just to do it and dabble in it, you just can't do that. You have to do it right, correct?
That is correct.
Right? And you help people with that as well?
I do, because I make it simple. I make it understandable, and once you get it. When I was sharing with recently with a client, she was like, "That is so easy." When you know it's easy, when you understand it, you do it, and you stay long with it.
Right, and you know what? When you turn yourself around, whether it's if you've been in debt and you turn around and get yourself out of debt, building the wealth, but building the wealth and having it is one thing, right? And you said it's another thing, and I use this term, to make money work for you. Money make its own money.
Right. That's what you want to do.
And that's what you really want to do. It has to get to that. So you start at the beginning, and that is with Joseph, Building Financial Literacy. That's
Yes.
the beginning. It is a great book. And also his second book, which is Building Financial Legacy. You guys have a choice of which one that you want, whether it's for you or someone that you know. You're going to be thrilled that you got it. Our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. Check him out on his website. It's actionablefinancialliteracy.com. You can also go and see him every Saturday morning on his podcast on Facebook at 11 o'clock. It's called On Point. Also in front of us on Facebook, everybody that sees this, there is a QR code that goes along with the book, which is really neat that you can do that, and you'll find lots of different things that goes and connects to, as well as to you.
Yes.
Which is really neat. And again, call in here and get yourself one of these books. Our number here, 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. And go to his website, which is actionablefinancialliteracy.com. Let's make a change. We said earlier, we were talking about how people have fallen off the wagon when it comes to, our weight, whatever our goals were. We started off with a bang, right?
Mm-hmm.
And usually about a week later, maybe less, people are like, oh, forget it. You know what? The money is the same thing, and a lot of people right now are feeling it. You can make a change. All you have to do is you have to listen, and
That's
you
correct.
have to listen and learn. Go to actionablefinancialliteracy.com or call in here. Get this book. Our number here is 602-277-5369.